Good evening, everybody. I just jumped on live post kickboxing session. I like this habit. I like this habit of doing my kickboxing online, then jumping on live on Facebook. I just did session 3 of 8 in the Creating the Body, Health and Happiness That You Want with Freddie Jacquin, and I feel fantastic. I've been for my walk. I listened to myself on a podcast. How bizarre is that? Listening to my own advice. I was feeling a bit meh today. I had an incredible weekend, thanks to Freddie. He's allowing me to be co-author of the book. So we are producing together a book as a product of the 8 weeks that we're working together in his group, in the Creating the Body, Health and Happiness You Desire group. So that's exciting because that was one of my goals I didn't think I was going to achieve. And today my podcast with Lori Hammond has been released and it's incredible. The response to it is amazing. Hey Derek, how are you? Hey Lori, thank you for listening. If you're listening, say hi so I know you're listening to me. I know these get a bit waffly. The podcast is less waffly. I do have more structure when I speak properly. Is this properly speaking? I don't know. I treat this like a conversation. I just tell you the thoughts as they go through my head. I don't plan what I'm going to say. But I did think about this, and I did think about fear of failure and fear of success, because I had a conversation with Justin this morning. Like I said, it all gets a bit, when it all adds up inside me and I think, what am I doing with my life? Is this fear of, it is fear. Is this fear of failure or is this fear of success? Because I worry about failing, but how do you define failing? I like focusing on the small processes that I take daily. Like I like these lives, I like these habits, and this is how I became a champion, focusing on doing nightly press-ups, focusing on each run, each hill sprinting session, and then all of a sudden I was walking out to the ring to become a champion. And all of a sudden, this podcast has been released. And on the podcast, if you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. It is great, if I do say so myself. On the podcast, I talk about this anchoring the confidence of a champion, this embodiment of somebody who's successful. And I just looked on Lori Hammond's profile, and 145 people have commented to listen to it. And I'm like, it's a bit late for fear of success, because in my mind, that's a success. I had fear of failure. I said to Lori openly and honestly, I said before the podcast, I'm really nervous. I feel like I'm about to walk out to fight, because that's what speaking is like. It's one of our most ingrained fears. Going back to when we were in tribes and we don't want to be disowned by our tribe, we don't want to stand out and speak out and people to disown us, and we still have that in our little reptilian brain somewhere. I'm not an expert on fear, this is just things I'm studying and learning about, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but it is deeply ingrained in us, fight or flight, to run away from danger, and speaking out is perceived as danger in our mind, and I can overcome that a lot easier than I can fighting. So when I say I will speak on stages globally, I can see myself there, and I wouldn't say I'm afraid of it, but there is definitely that fear in me that what's that actually going to be like when that many people hear me? Because I can feel it today. Over 145 people, because that's just now, it's gone up. It's going up every few minutes. Somebody else is commenting and I'm like, wow, how do you deal with this? So anyway, that's my thoughts, my waffle for the day on fear of success and fear of failure. And like this morning, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I'm overcoming this because I woke up and I still have the thoughts. I'm aware of the thoughts. Am I doing enough? Well, why am I not further ahead on this journey than I currently am? And then I have to think to myself, don't be silly, Jess. You're doing everything. You're doing everything that you need to be doing right now. Enjoy it. Enjoy the present moment. So I cooked myself some homemade soup. I made some leek and potato with the chicken stock from my carcass, from my roast dinner. I almost said waffles then. I like waffles too. I like waffles and I like waffling. I like it's not waffling. I shouldn't be negative about the way that I talk. We're too self-critical. I like speaking openly. I like speaking the thoughts as they go through my mind. It is not waffle. People don't, and this is one of the things I say, how I overcome this fear, how I overcome the fear of people judging me when I'm live. And I'm like, people don't have to listen to me. They don't have to listen to this live. If they think I'm waffling, then they can move on. They can turn their phone off. They can scroll to the next thing. So there we go. I can't even remember what I was talking about before that. I made soup. I enjoyed making my soup, and I had a nice healthy lunch. And then I went for a walk to the graveyard. I go to the graveyard most days. I don't always go to the graveyard in the dark, but it did get dark by the time I was walking home. Luckily I had a torch on me and I managed to get home safely. I like going out for my walk. And then the highlight of my day, because I love it, I love the coaching, the kickboxing. I just did my kickboxing class online. I say the highlight of my day. I also ran a hypnotherapy session this morning. I don't know why I didn't mention that earlier. That went really well. So I've had a really good day. So why did I wake up this morning thinking I'm not doing enough? I am doing enough. I'm reassuring myself here, and you are doing enough too. Whatever you're doing, if you get those thoughts, I still get those thoughts. And this is what Lori Hammond is all about. So full circle, I'll go back to the beginning. Listen to Lori Hammond's podcasts, Silence the Imposter Monster, because it's really helping me. It really has helped me, and it will continue to help me, because I've yet to find a way to make it go away. I just have to learn to live with it. Stepping out of your comfort zone, moving forwards into your growth zone. And as I described in the podcast, my own protocol, comfort zone cliff, which comes from the quote, we have to be continually jumping off cliffs and allowing our wings to develop on the way down. And that's by Kurt Vonnegut. He's an American writer whose name I struggle to pronounce. So I'll just say my protocol, the comfort zone cliff. And if you want to listen to it, you can go listen to it on the podcast. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Derek. You've listened all the way through. So I hope you enjoyed my waffle and enjoy your waffles too. Have a lovely day, everybody. Bye-bye.